Hey, beautiful visionary, welcome to my channel. My name is Chandler Short. Today, I'm gonna talk to you about some downloads that I had today and as well as yesterday as I've been doing a 48-hour water fast where I only drink water. For those of you wondering why I decided to do a water fast, I've kind of dabbled with trying out different diets, nutrition, different kinds of fasting protocols. You can check my past videos to see that Purium video that I made where I did a 10-day cleanse. I started a Fast Friday club at school that turned into like over 100 plus people with my buddy Marcus Carr, and we did a little, challenge for other students and to keep ourselves accountable by doing fasting every Friday. So why did I decide to do a water fast? Well, the whole purpose of doing a fast in the first place is really to act as a reset. There's profound effects of doing at least 2 days, so 48 hours, whether you're doing a juice cleanse or some kind of fruit and vegetable cleanse. Primarily drinking lots of fluids, lots of healthy juices, vegetable juices, but only fruits and vegetables. Doing a water fast is probably at the top when it comes to intensity of doing a fast. It's more on the advanced level of fasting because it's quite difficult to do a water fast. And I don't mean that lightly. So this is not a video to say go out and do a fast. I'm not recommending doing fasting or anything like that. This is just me explaining what my experience was like so that if you are curious and want to learn more, you can, do your own research and eventually decide for yourself. But when it comes to water fasting, the main goal with any fast is really to build inner strength. It's really to reset my body, reset my mind, my spirit, everything. By doing a fast, I'm entering these stages of what's called autophagy, which is where my cells are able to start recycling damaged or just old cells that are in my body and just kind of sitting there, not operating at their optimum potential, right? And my body is now able to take those damaged cells and recycle them and form new ones. And so this is why oftentimes during a fast, we can just feel like, whoa, like, why do I have so much energy? Why am I thinking so clearly? What's going on? Like today I have felt incredible, like the best I've felt in a long time. And I realized for myself, like, wow, this was long overdue. So if I have a little bit more energy than normal, now you can tell, just weaning myself more off of caffeine, sugar, carbs, even eating a lot of meat. It's just like, at first when you're doing a fast, it's always so painful, right? That first day, you're gonna be like a bit miserable. Like there was a point in time yesterday when I was doing my fast where I was like, holy crap, I would rather die. It's that intense where at least just to share my own experience when it comes to the feelings that I was going through yesterday was I was just sitting and I'm like, normally if I'm bored or whatever, I can fill that time by eating foods or doing something. But when you're doing a fast, you got nothing to do, right? So you're just sitting with your thoughts, sitting with yourself, which is ultimately can be one of the most intense battles of your life when you're bored and you have nothing to do, right? So I really wanted to take this weekend to dive into myself a bit and learn a bit about myself and see what I'm made of. This is my second day, so I haven't hit 48 hours yet, but just to touch on the things I've already started to learn about myself is that I realized that, sitting with myself and just being alone, and I spent some time in my van out in Half Moon Bay and here in Northern California, just sitting in my van, kind of being to myself in solitude, really just drinking a lot of water and, reading and not really doing much other than journaling my thoughts. And I came to this like huge realization when I was just reaching this pinnacle of like anxiousness because I was like, fuck, I don't know what to do with myself. Like, it really is a challenging thing being alone with your thoughts, and just sitting with them. And I was like, wow, like a lot of the problems that I've gone through in my life or any any things that I've experienced where I'm like, you know, it really comes back to yourself. For myself, for instance, just because I feel like I'm dancing around what I'm actually trying to talk about, you know, for me, I've had a lot of insecurities about my body. I've had a lot of insecurities about just who I am as a person, putting myself out there on YouTube, and, you know, just feeling into who is Chandler Short. And, you know, I've really dived deep into this as much as I can. And the biggest fear that came up for me during this fast is this feeling of like, wow, I am so afraid of being alone and not being like recognized as somebody of value, of somebody who has a legacy and they've done something of value with their life. And so a lot of my insecurities and fears with my life have been my own projections and basically seeking the approval of other people around me. And, you know, it could be from a bunch of patterns in my past of, you know, being a competitive soccer player and always being cheered on and always like, you know, good job, Chandler, you did a great job on the field, and like, you know, always being patted on the back by coaches, you know. And we can just, whatever our experiences are in life, we tend to start, our identity is formulated through all the experiences that we've gone through, right? And so we become so attached to these roles and these identities in our life, you know, whether it's working a specific job, just seeing yourself as a certain person that has a certain ego, that acts a certain way, dresses a certain way. We get so attached to these things when in reality we're just soul beings here on this planet. We're nothing but empty space and energy, right? If you look at what matter is and what this physical world is around us, it's like we're 99.99 whatever percent empty space. So what does that mean? It means that we're just completely vibrational beings. We're just energy, right? So if we are going through times in our life where we're low vibrational and we're very dense and we feel like, wow, the world is out to get me, you know, fear, anxiety, depression, all those things that make us feel so dense and bring on more pain, right? And like pain is essentially, it's in our minds. We're feeling the physical pain, but what is that pain? Like that thing that's progressing in our bodies is a psychosomatic thing, right? So we're, in many ways, disease comes from dis-ease in our body, which is a mind-body spiritual connection, right? There's never just one thing that's causing the disease in our bodies. So we have to take this stuff seriously. And over the years, I've really tried to dive as deep as I can into myself by practicing meditation, qigong, different types of practices, running, even long distance running, just sitting and breathing, different breathing techniques like Wim Hof, knowing that there's more to this world than just simply what lies in front of our senses. I know that there's something greater to this fabric of existence. And I've experienced it through transcendental meditations. I've experienced it through plant medicine. I've experienced it in various ways and forms where I know that reality is not as simple as just this three-dimensional space that we currently live in. And it's taken me a while just to even feel comfortable saying that, because it's like, what does that mean for us, right? It's like, it can be very, you know, having these expansive thoughts can be overwhelming. It can be a bit confusing at times. And I know that to be extremely true for myself when it comes to diving into spirituality, looking up different religions, you know, not growing up with religion really, other than like culturally, feeling like, well, what is my place in this world? And I've really tried to dive deeper than just being like, well, I don't know, so I should just believe in God and therefore go to church and just start praying to Jesus Christ because, oh, you know, everyone else is doing it, so I should just do it and, you know, feel like more at home, more comfortable, because knowing that there is a place that I'm going to go up to, heaven, if I'm just a good person, makes me feel better than doing the hard work of actually diving deep into myself to figure out like, what is the point of all this, and seeing all the different angles. And that's just been my process. I'm not trying to downplay anyone else's process of spiritual growth, but I truthfully think like you have to dive deep in yourself and find out what makes sense to you. You know, don't just take anyone's word for it, or any guru out there on YouTube even posting videos. I'm just a speaker here, you know, and I'm just speaking from my own experiences. So, you know, you can take this with a grain of salt, and I would always want anyone watching my videos to look at my videos and be like, you know, he brought up some good points. Maybe you got one golden nugget or one takeaway, but then the rest of it, you know, you take it, you find the meaning out of it, the positivity from it, and then you go your way, and you end up learning for yourself and experiencing for yourself. That's what my ultimate goal with these videos has always been. And, you know, I'm learning and I'm growing in this process with you, and just sharing and trying to find the meaning and purpose of my life. And I believe that I've found a lot more purpose in my life simply by tapping into tapping into the suffering and the pain, and not always trying to do the comfortable thing, right? Oftentimes when we take that comfortable path in life, what ends up happening is we get a lot of pain and suffering later on. So what I've tried to do as much as possible is like literally just place myself into challenging situations and do the things that don't come easy to me, because what I end up getting from the situations is a lot of newfound knowledge, a lot of, you know, skills, a lot of confidence in myself, and discipline that I ultimately needed. So I don't know, I kind of went on a tangent here. If you're someone on a spiritual journey like myself, and you're tapped into the different dimensions that go beyond this three-dimensional realm, and you've really tried to dive deep into yourself, and you're doing the work, right? If you've ever researched things like the law of attraction, you know, you'll become aware of people like Joe Dispenza, you'll become aware of Dr. Bruce Lipton. They are amazing with the work that they've created, and really helping people transform in who they are and who they really think they are, and really transforming their concept of their own internal reality so that they can externally create the life of their dreams, create the health of their dreams, and really overcome some serious illnesses, which is just incredible work, and something I'm really curious about and passionate about. And I've been on and off this journey for years now, just kind of diving in and then falling off, and diving in and, you know, doing my affirmations, doing the hypnosis, doing all those things, right? But it's like not necessarily, some years I'm very consistent, other times I fall off the horse. So again, this journey, this path of growing as a spiritual being is not a simple, you know, one pill magic solution. This is a journey, right? There's going to be waves to your journey. There's going to be ups and downs, and we have to emotionally just feel those things. The biggest realization that I had today while doing the water fast was that if we really want to manifest the life of our dreams, if we really want to create the life of our dreams, and maybe we're not even certain what that is, we cannot, and I repeat, we cannot create that life by just positively affirming something and trying to repeat positive thoughts all day long to ourselves, like waking up and writing in our journal, I'm grateful, I'm so happy, oh, money flows to me effortlessly, blah, blah, blah. I've done all those things, and they don't work. And the reason that they don't work is because we're not taught how to actually do them. So when it comes to properly manifesting in our lives, we have to, first and foremost, we have to make sure that these positive affirmations and these thoughts that we ultimately want to have are attached to an emotion, right? Because what is an emotion? An emotion is energy in motion. So if we have harnessed this feeling of energy and empowerment, like, oh, I'm so amazing, I'm so beautiful, and I feel that love, and I'm like, I'm thinking of, like, let's say I'm thinking of puppies and they're making me all happy just thinking about little husky puppies. I'm so grateful that I'm so full of love, right? Because I'm feeling now just this warm sense from thinking about puppies. So we have to really attach strong emotions to the words that we're affirming. And whether that's doing a hypnosis in the morning that really gets you into a certain feeling and vibration and energy, or it's like writing out in your gratitude journal, I am grateful. You really have to believe it. If you don't believe it and you don't feel grateful for those things, you're not going to be grateful. If you don't actually feel the words that you're writing or saying out loud, like money flows to my bank account every single month effortlessly, and you're not specific with what that is, nothing is going to change, right? So yes, the repetition is important. Yes, attaching the emotion is crucial, and being very specific is another element. But something I thought about today, which is new information to me, because I've tried on and off over the years doing the things, and just it seems like nothing's working. And then you're getting frustrated and you're like, why isn't this law of attraction working for me, but it's working for all these gurus out there, it's working for all these coaches who are making thousands of dollars per month online, right? You start to wonder, like, maybe I'm not cut out for this. So what I realized is that in order to affirm the life of your dreams, you have to start with a solid foundation. Now, what does that mean? If you really want to create the life of your dreams, you have to get rid of and clear out the old foundation that you've already had, right? So it's like if you were to build a house and you knew there was like a ton of plants and weeds and dry dirt and all this crap and debris and trash, are you going to try and build your house on top of all that crap? No, obviously not. So what we have to do is we have to clean out the mess that's already there and think of our life as like fertile soil. We need to be planting on fertile soil. So if we're affirming the life of our dreams and we're planting seeds, whether it's positivity, doing all those things, when you're planting those seeds are not going to go anywhere if they're planted on dry, deserted land, right? It's like there needs to be a strong foundational soil. So this is where I just kind of had this download today where I was like, oh wow, the power of fasting is crucial for this. Because if your body is in a state of just, you've been feeding yourself, maybe you've been eating healthy too, but the reality is over time we accumulate so much toxicity from our environments, from drinking poor water, eating processed foods, beverages, all the things, right? We experience so much toxic overload in our bodies that we're a toxic soup inside. And then we try to affirm our life and affirm our dreams and think that we can just cover up all the crap that's inside of us by thinking positively. And so this is where if I had one critique of, the Joe Dispenzas of the world and stuff like that, is they don't necessarily talk that much about cleansing out your body first and really making sure you have a temple that is clean before you start trying to tap into these transcendental realms of spirituality and interconnectedness and healing and consciousness as oneness and wholeness, all these things, right? If there's one thing you could take away from this video, it's to start by cleansing yourself out, whether that's doing a 1 or 2 day water fast, making sure there's lots of minerals in that water and that the water is living, which is why I bought a Kangen machine. And you can see a couple of videos I posted on Kangen. If there's one thing I've invested in over the course of my lifetime, I would say that Kangen is by far, it's been the best investment of my life, just in terms of health. but also in terms of sharing the machine, building more community of people who are like-minded. I cannot say enough good things about the product, and it seriously has been a game changer for my hydration, especially if you're doing a fast. Bottled water that's full of microplastics, all the garbage that's out there. Even if you have a natural spring source, chances are it's been sitting in bottles in the store and all that stuff. So really, first and foremost, make sure that you get a proper clean water source if you're going to be fasting, because you want to make sure that you're not putting more toxins into your body, which is just, these days it's so hard to avoid all the microplastics and gender benders is what the term is called, for that literally mess with your endocrinatic system. So I hope that this video helps. I hope that you got some good takeaways from it. And if you did, remember to give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it, and appreciate you checking out my channel, and hope that we can connect further on here. I would love to be posting more. I've just been very busy as of late, doing some social media work for some clients and things like that. But I'm so stoked because in a month's time, I'm going to be coming back down to San Diego and really being closer to the ocean, closer to the coast where my home is, and just continually reaching higher vibrations myself, reaching new love for myself, and connecting more with myself so that I can connect more deeply with others and spread more positivity to this world, which is ultimately my goal with this channel and my goal in life. And in order to do that, I ultimately have to practice what I preach. I have to work on myself. I have to do all the things that I know are necessary in order to perform at my best and show up for those that I love. So thanks again, and I'll catch you on the next video.